Live from San Diego, this is the Fox 5 News at 10.
New at 10, while most San Diegans wanted to see the beaches back open for fresh air, surfing, or sunshine, for others, getting back on the water was literally a matter of life or death. Catching waves for some of San Diego's military veterans injured in combat, physically or mentally, is nothing short of a lifeline. One More Wave is an organization that provides that water therapy, not only by customizing surfboards and equipment to meet whatever disability or injury they may have, but they also help spearhead the fight to reopen the beaches for the mental health benefits. I spoke with one of the leading advocates for getting the beaches back open earlier today, who took that fight to San Diego's elected officials, including Supervisor Kristen Gaspar, along with the managing director of One More Wave, for a conversation about how the beach closures amid the pandemic were especially hard on our veterans' mental health.
So right now, as you can imagine, up until this last week, it's been very challenging because a lot of these guys and gals that normally really get a lot of therapeutic benefit from getting out there and catching waves, we're just not able to.
And what's the mental health impact of them getting out on the water?
A lot of our veterans, actually most, I would say, honestly, are when they're out in the ocean, they're struggling with maybe suicidal tendencies. They're struggling with major depression, anxiety disorders, a slew of other, things. And so the ocean is providing a great form of therapy, the best form of therapy in our mind, surfing, but they're not able to take advantage of that.
And you actually had one veteran who was contemplating suicide while the beaches were closed.
We did. There was one beach in San Diego that actually was able to remain open, and that was the Naval Beach down in Coronado. And so what we were able to do is with this individual, he was actually contemplating suicide. They had to put him on a watch, but we were actually able to get an actual approval to get him an appointment, if you will. And we were able to bring him down to Coronado and get him out there.
And Jeran, you've been central in trying to get these beaches back open. And tell us about that battle you waged and who you got in contact with and how difficult it was to be heard.
My goal was to really bring science alongside this and say, look, we've got to get back in the ocean. We've got to figure out that there's a way to solve this problem. We can still surf responsibly, fish responsibly, and I think that was sort of the message I was trying to bring to the County Board of Supervisors. I was in touch with several of them, bringing them information, emailing multiple mayors here in San Diego, and that's my goal. My goal wasn't to take a stand and say, look, I want to go surfing. I didn't want this to be a selfish movement. I wanted this to, people to understand it's about mental health. And one of the biggest things that I was pushing was we can't open beaches by themselves, like one or two beaches by themselves. We have to open them all up in the county together, because what happens is you then get crowds going to specific beaches, and then it creates these bigger problems. Sadly, they've opened up Moonlight Beach, but you can't access anywhere north of Swami's all the way up to Grandview Beach, which is, I want to say, about an 8 to 10 mile stretch of beach. Except for one location, and that's creating crowding at Moonlight as well. So I think we really have to figure out a solution to get people back on the beach, whether it's one way down at some staircases and one way up. We have to create a solution to get more people on the beaches and create more space.
What was it like when the vets were able to get back in the water after weeks away?
It's been nothing but joyous occasions. High fives when able. Usually it's a one-on-one situation, but there's been a lot of smiles, a lot of laughter. That individual that I was speaking about earlier, that was literally contemplating suicide, he's now in a much better, healthier mind state, and he's looking forward to getting back out in the ocean and surfing responsibly. So it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
And define what responsibly means to you and the veterans that you're putting back out there on the water with One More Wave.
Yeah, just as Jeran said, we've really been working with him and several other of the local leaders to ensure that we're messaging that correctly to all of our local surfers, to ensure that they're going out there just one-on-one, which is normally really against our mission. Our mission is getting out there with as many of your friends as possible to have fun. And so now we're kind of breaking our overall mission to say, hey, let's just be responsible, go out there one-on-one. If you need a buddy, that's okay, but be responsible and maintain that safe distance.
I reached out to both Kyle and Jeran after the breaking news the governor may shut down beaches again starting on Friday, and they said it's unfortunate to see the misinterpretation that space creates more risks. The ocean is not the problem. If you're a military veteran and would like to apply to get out on the water, go to onemorewave.com, and you can also go to saltwateralliance.org if you would like to learn more about the efforts to reopen the beaches.